Great morning. Today we will reveal how Welshman Ncube became a sellout early in his political career. The following words are from Professor Welshman Ncube in early 2005 after he chose to betray the movement for democratic change led by the late former Prime Minister Morgan Richard Tsvangirai. After these words, I want you to hear his words from last month after Ncube Tsvangirai, the imposter Secretary General whom ZANU-PF planted in the CCC, Citizens Coalition for Change. 2005, the MDC leader told the Daily News this week that he will not reunite with Tsvangirai because there has not been any will to try and resolve the problem which is linked to violence and dictatorship. Of course there is a problem. The problems which led to the split remain alive today. They remain unresolved. In fact, the cracks are wider today than they were in 2005. The only thing we literally share in common is that we agree that ZANU-PF and Mugabe have been bad for the country, Ncube told the Daily News. That's about all that we agree on. We are not in agreement on just about anything and everything else. The things which divided us in 2005 still divide us today. People cannot simply say these are personal differences. They are not petty and they are not personal. After listening to the aforementioned details, one might believe that Welshman had legitimate reasoning. However, the truth is that the agreement was rather vague. It merely involved rotating party leadership, but overlooked the fact that power remained in Mugabe's hands. I want to emphasize that the agreement was not citizen-centric. When rumors suggested that Welshman should also assume the presidency of the MDC, citizens were outraged and internal persecutions ensued because the agreement did not prioritize the citizens, but rather certain agreements which did not consider the independence of the citizens as central. It is evident that when you fail to appeal to the citizens or to provide some sort of vision and direction, you resort to bedroom discussions. Agreements should be respected, but not when they harm the people you serve, who are the citizens of Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF, noticing that MDC was very popular under Mr. Tsvangirai, used Welshman to fragment the people's movement into provinces, specifically into Bulawayo and Harare politics. Welshman, being short-sighted, did not realize that you cannot win elections by dividing the nation along tribal lines, and ZANU-PF secretly rewarded him with some farms. Without delving too deeply into Welshman's early acts of betrayal, the most recent one is shockingly worse. I think Mr. Chamisa should avoid reviving every fallen figure because it is uncertain whose side they will support. The Devils, which is ZANU-PF, or the mighty war of Israel to bring peace and citizen independence. After the 2005 split, Welshman failed to secure even 1% in the presidential election or a single seat in parliament. Then, Chamisa brought him back in the MDC alliance as vice president only for him to join Ncube Tsvangirai and disrupt the citizens' movement. Here are Welshman's words after the Ncube Tsvangirai scandal. Chamisa has lost control of the party, and I am still the vice president of CCC, as from the MDC Alliance Congress in Gweru. Before we unpack his statement, during this Independence Day, Welshman joined Senator Ncube Tsvangirai and E.D. Mnangagwa in celebrations. Unfortunately for Welshman, he was not rewarded with a post by ZANU-PF as he had always dreamed of being a leader, only to find out his dream was just a nightmare. It is believed that during the independence celebrations, Welshman attempted to confront Mr. Mnangagwa, alleging that Ncube Tsvangirai had double-crossed him, and also pleaded with him to be rewarded for his support in undermining the citizens' movement. From Welshman's statement after Ncube Tsvangirai scandal, it is clear that he assumes the position of vice president of CCC while noting that Chamisa failed to control the party. This suggests that he was essentially a non-functional vice president, merely observing as the people's hope was undermined and the culprits protected.